welcome. We got the slate out because we're professional here, baby. Woo, 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 woo. Welcome to episode 45 of the Save Point Podcast. I have got with me Brock Ben.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Okay, well, already shit start.
I
Pull
don't
out
have
some
anything
good
to add
content.
that.
Do you have anything to add at all? No?
Yes.
Okay, go. Leave now.
No.
We're back. I'm not going to use the same segue as I used the other week.
I think we went back in black, then went to AC/DC talk.
Yeah, no, and then went to music for about an hour and 40 minutes. It was fucking hectic, bro.
It was good. We got some good comments on the TikToks about it.
We did. We got some good comments on that. I will say, we got a cool comment the other day. Shout out to Secret Labs for
Noticing us.
noticing us.
Yeah.
Giving us a shout out. They said, we've got your backs, which is pretty hectic because they make chairs. Get it?
And we have the chairs.
Oh, you two do. I don't.
2/3 of us have the chairs.
Yeah, God, yeah.
I need to get one.
You do. You've said that a billion
You
times.
can give me one, Secret Labs. That'd be really nice.
Don't give him one. Give me one.
He can
You've
have
already
our.
got one.
No, we've discussed this.
Yeah,
if
you
we
can
get
have my
new
old one.
chairs, you can pick from ours, and we'll just get the new ones.
Yeah. Mine's oldest. You can have it. Actually, his
thanks.
chair's biggest.
Yeah, mine's a Titan. You can have my one. I'll get the
What
new
are you
one.
trying to say, Tom?
No. You're big. You're fat. You can have his, but I get the new one.
That's not how it works. You don't get two.
Bro, who does all the work here?
Yeah, but if
That's
I'm
what I
giving away
thought.
my chair,
Oh, you remember this Instagram that was going to get dealt with like
I've had
3 months ago?
the thing that we were going to do at the end of the start of last month.
What?
The thing that we were going to start up again, like at the end of
Nah, we
financial
were
year.
going to do it ages ago. It's all right.
It's Brock's fault. He doesn't have Instagram.
I don't.
He doesn't. But Brock, to be fair, Brock is the one who goes through the episode.
I've also gone through the episodes. You just give them to him.
How many times? He's gone through it like twice.
I've done.
No, 3 times.
3.
At least.
Episode 45. Shout out, Brock.
God, yeah. Well, he's hyper autistic, so he gets to lock in and fix all his little issues.
Huh? All right. Well, I think we go back to another Ben. Ben episode. Brock
You
and
could do
Tom
that.
again. Yeah.
I'll go home.
Yeah, you go do that. You can go sit over there. No one can see it, but we got a new bit in the set. The
Casting
set never
couch.
changed. Yeah, we do have a casting couch. It is a bed as well.
Technically, it's appeared on the show before, but on the
No, it
early
hasn't.
episode.
No, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't.
Different one. That's a different lounge.
I thought it was the same one.
It's
Never
not
mind.
the same lounge.
That's like 3 times as big as the
All
other
right,
lounge as well.
let's get into some actual shit today. So we be gaming. That'd be crazy. But I do want to talk about a movie real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see it.
No.
I have
Ben
seen
and I
it.
saw it. I want to talk about the new Superman.
Dun, 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 dun.
It was fucking hectic.
It was really good.
I rate it heaps. I reckon it wasn't too James Gunny.
No.
James Gunn directed it, known widely for making the 2 Scooby-Doo movies.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely wasn't over the top James
No.
Gunn. It was just a really good, solid movie. There was a couple of weird plot points, but like enough that like you just didn't care. It was fun, a movie you'd go back and watch. If they keep doing DC movies like this, Marvel needs to watch out.
Yeah, I think with Marvel, he got a bit more freedom than every other director.
Yep.
But he definitely had the reins pulled in a bit because they were definitely the weirdest of the movies that Marvel have done. But then
Yes.
DC, he's like, well, it's going straight comic book, and it was just like reading like pages of a comic book. Everything was wild and massive and bright and colourful, which was a good change.
My biggest compliment for the new Superman movie is it made me care about Superman.
Yeah, that was...
Superman's usually a blank slate that I've never given a shit about. I liked him as a character. I liked the movie. I cared about what happened to him.
That's a common criticism for a lot of not just the Superman movies, but even like the animated shows and the comics to an extent as well, that it's hard to relate to Superman because, I mean, obviously, yes, he's an alien, he's not human, blah, blah, but because he's like the perfect superhero, he's invulnerable, he has all these bullshit powers that he seems to pull out of nowhere.
Yeah. He just gets incapacitated at the start of the run, and then right at the end he gets healed and then saves the day. It's like, cool. He's just the Superman comic. He's just nothing.
Yeah. I kind of think there's times when to address that, they've gone too far in that, we need to actually give him a weakness. Like
Pink kryptonite?
that.
Is that the one that turns him gay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime, the kryptonite thing, it got weird after a while. But no, what I was going to say was the Justice League cartoons, where like from the first episode onward, like he gets slapped down so many times, and it's just like, what's the point of him again, other than just to show that the new big bad is very powerful?
Yeah, it's like the CW's The Flash. It's like they start every episode with "I'm the fastest man alive," and then every single season he gets proven that he's in fact not the fastest man alive, and just gets immediately slapped every single season. I don't get it.
And then 2 episodes later, it's like, okay, I've gotten faster.
Yeah, some magic pill or syringe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do think, you're right. With the kryptonite stuff, would go a bit overboard about like what he's weak to. Isn't he also weak to magic?
Susceptible to magic, but
yeah.
But they'd always go, oh, here's a fake kryptonite that they made in a lab, and it does the exact same job, but it's stronger. And it's like, synthetic. That's what I was looking for.
There's so many things like that I've seen, but I mean, it was good. The movie was good. They did a good job of it. I think they're really expanding the DC universe in a good way. I did see a thing on Twitter where they were saying, they were showing all the characters that are in the established, like proper, definitely in this new DC EU, and like, get ready for, like, let's try and enjoy this and have a peace and calm before they introduce Batman, because they'll just push that for the next 10 years.
Yeah, have they announced who the new Batman's going to be?
They seen a script for Brave and the Bold, but they're not even close to casting yet.
Yeah, I've still seen things where they're umming and ahhing if Pattinson Batman from a few years ago is going to be in this universe or not.
See, I still haven't gone and watched that. I probably should.
It's a really good movie.
It is?
Yes,
okay, so he made a decent Batman?
No, Matt Reeves made a decent Batman. Matt Reeves makes great movies. So
very noir, very like it's very good. I would just watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did see a take the other day. I think it was the Escape podcast were talking about how the Christopher Nolan's movies were just the excuse to dress someone up as Batman and then just have a really good action movie that was shot well. They didn't really do much to his character at all. It was just, here's a guy in a bat suit. He's also rich and just makes a really good action movie. Whereas you get to Rob Pattinson's Batman, it's a lot more grittier. It's actually detective work. But I think James Gunn's going to go in the
way more detective work for sure. But I don't really agree with the Nolan one that Batman Begins was just straight up the entire origin story of Batman.
Yeah.
But it had like Scarecrow, and it was shot a little differently to when you get like the Dark Knight. It seemed a little bit more. I mean, the whole bank heist stuff at the start was cool with the Joker. But you look at some of the Batman villains, like you're not going to get Killer Croc or anything like that in the Christopher Nolan movies.
You mean it's more grounded. Yeah,
that's what I was about to say.
I agree with that sense. But as actually like progression of the character, the first movie was the establishing of Batman. The second one is him being in his prime Batman, and the third one was sort of like a very strange take on like the Dark Knight Rises or something like that. Like he's older and he's not that much older, but like come back, and there's definitely a progression there. But yeah, if you're talking about being grounded, 100%.
I feel
they could work these universes together at the same time, like keep doing Pattinson ones and also do ones that are in the DCEU. Because the Pattinson one is very much grounded.
I feel like if they're going to do like how Superman was done and how it was shot, I think they might do that same approach with the Batman Brave and the Bold. Because I think they're going to go a bit more into that, not mystical, but like it was definitely going to be a lot more fantasy when it comes to Batman's villains. Like you're going to see an original idea rather than...
All right, we're back. Camera died and Brock started playing his games and we tried to get him off, but he just wouldn't stop. Look, it's on his lap still. He's still got his fucking Vita there.
It's been there the entire time since I sat down in the studio.
I don't know.
I got to have my games on deck real quick.
I can't sit with it in my pocket. These pockets aren't big enough.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, no, what I was saying was I really hope, if they do it, like, don't start from the beginning of his life again. We don't need to see that his parents die again.
They didn't do that with Superman.
They did a time thing. It was like, what is it, like 300,000 years ago, and then 30 years ago, then 3 years ago, then 3 minutes ago.
3 years into Superman being Superman, this movie.
Okay. That is what they need to do, is skip over.
Yeah.
Like, we know Batman's origin story. We know Superman's origin story. Like, there's a few there if they want to do a whole Justice League.
I honestly don't really know that much of Superman's origin story. I know, obviously, him crashing in Kansas or whatever, and then his family and everything like that.
That's about it.
That's about it. That's
he
all.
struggles with his powers as a teenager and all that, and then
if you want to see those years, there's like what 2 or 3 different series that show like Smallville's.
I mean, like
history?
in like a movie. I mean, they show it in
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Very stupid.
But like there's some of the other ones they could focus more on stuff like Cyborg or The Flash maybe. But I mean, even them, like we kind of know enough about them like in their early years.
There was an interview that James Gunn did and he goes, I don't need to see any shots of the pearls getting dropped in an alley.
Yes.
And the ship crashing. It's all like, people know this. Let's just start an existing story and just like have all that backstory there already.
I will say, you've got to think most people, realistically, probably don't know that stuff.
Correct.
And that's one thing. No.
I would disagree with that, but go.
Shut the fuck up. No. I feel like we are too saturated with that stuff where we think that is the go, because biggest example of that is when I went in to watch this with Lizard, she was like, it was a bit jarring at the start. He was just fighting and like I didn't understand like how he got any powers or anything, blah blah blah, like that type of deal. She's like, straight like after like about 5-10 minutes I was fully into it and it was fine. It worked really well. But I feel like there's a lot of people who won't know that stuff.
I think there's like it's been in pop culture long enough that you should understand that stuff. Nothing on Lizard, like not knowing it.
I will say,
you're attacking Lizard right now.
You attacking Lizard?
I find it surprising that there are people who don't know it.
In Brock's argument's sake, Superman came out in like 1938.
Yeah, no, it's been nearly 100 years.
Yeah.
So you should have some idea, or at least that he crashed in Kansas, and that's kind of where you start.
Yes.
You don't need to see all the Krypton stuff because, it's really cool to start a movie with that. Like Man of Steel did it, and it was fantastic. Also not entirely important to the story.
No, fair enough to think I don't understand how he got his powers. Cool. All you need is a scene of, he's an alien, he gets his powers from sunlight. That's all you need. And that's explained.
They explain in the first 10
They do
minutes.
it straight away, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. But I do think there is a lot of people, and I don't think they should be showing this in the movies, but I do think there's a lot of people who still don't know that stuff. But
you get on YouTube and go recap.
That's literally on them to go find that because there's that much media out there to explain that.
Yes.
I will say I went to a comic book shop on the weekend. I went to King's Comics in Sydney. I've been there a fair few times before. I don't think I can ever get into comic collecting.
No,
I really don't think I can. It's such an expensive hobby.
Omnibuses, that would be the only way to do it.
Yeah, still, even they're expensive.
Yeah.
Because if you're buying a single comic and it is that thick,
it's about 30 pages. Yeah.
It's not ideal.
No, it is one of those hobbies where unless you've been in it from like early years or if you've been in it from the beginning, which no one has at this point.
No.
It's not worthwhile getting into it because there's so much backlog there.
Yeah,
it's
one of those hobbies where it'd just be a pain to even store all that. If you were, I mean, like I understand being a fan of comics if you were someone who, hey, here's a one series and every like couple of weeks, say if it was like a local shop, they had the newest issue and you just bought one because it's just a thin little comic.
Yeah.
Sure, and over the years, like I know people who do that with The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've heard stories of people online who got The Walking Dead as it was coming out, like 2003, I think it's the first started coming out. And some of those issues are worth a pretty penny now. Probably not as much as they were probably about 5
Back
years
when
ago.
The Walking Dead was still
really
on.
big.
Yeah.
You also got to think those are like Walking Dead, for example. That's a series that has an end chapter. Like it gets to like, is it still being produced or is it like it's finished?
They ended the main show. There's now like spin-offs with Negan and.
Yeah, I more meant like the comic series.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Because a lot of those smaller comics have like, we have this much of a run. We've got 30, 40 episodes, or not episodes. We got 30, 40 chapters or books or whatever you want to call them. And that's it. It's not an ongoing series like any of the big DC or Marvel stuff is, which is just there's no end in sight. It just, no, we're keeping on going. We got to go on for eternity.
I started collecting them and I'd read parts of different different runs and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, that's really cool. And then they released the full book and you go, oh, I'm just going to buy that so I can read them all. And it's, I don't know, 1,500 pages and you get that section of the story, which is a lot easier to store than like 18 different books or 19 different books sort of thing.
If you had to pick one comic series for you to focus on, what would it be?
You mean like a superhero or like a certain run in particular?
Any comic, whether you want it to be a superhero or a run.
I don't know. I want to get the third book of the Nightfall Omnibus because I've got the first two. I need the third one, but they were like, the first one was about $300 when I bought it, and now they've dropped significantly in price. But those things are like 1,800 pages, which is cool. I want the whole Civil War Marvel run and Civil War 2, which is a massive collection to try and.
I don't know what I would want. So what you're saying, just comics? Sorry, I forgot.
Just comics, yeah.
I don't know. There's not a ton of comics that I've been really into. I've never been basic bitch. I love Batman. I always have. Like even before like the big Batman boom of the last like 20 years. Batman was also always popular, but I always really, really, really liked Batman. But I don't know. I really don't.
I think Death in the Family would be a Batman one I would like to get into, which is quite cool.
I know a lot of these comics though. Like I know the general.
Gotham by Gaslight was fun.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
You love your steampunky era Victorian.
But that wasn't like super long though, was it?
No.
Like I saw a copy of that.
They keep like going back and flirting with it every couple of years, and like the animated series did as well. But
they also did a movie on that as well, Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, they did.
And the Batman Japanese anime one.
That was strange.
It was very odd. They're doing another one, I think, or it's on HBO at the moment.
Oh, really?
Very much the same style, and I just don't like that style at all of animation.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because like fully CG.
Fully CG, but it was way too toon shaded for what they were trying to achieve.
I know.
It is an interesting style. I know what you mean by like it's hard to get into, but by the midpoint of the movie, you're kind of over it.
I don't know.
Yeah, that movie wasn't especially good though.
The first one though wasn't.
Joker looked cool, but I didn't like the whole vibe of the show.
The first time they did it, the Batman Ninja one.
That's the one I think we're talking about.
Yeah, that was actually done by like, from what I understood, it was a number of different artists all sort of collaborating on it, which is why you had the sort of jump cuts between similar styles, and then you'd have a jump cut to like a completely.
I haven't seen it
like
in
when
like
they
10
did
years,
the Red Hood thing with Joker in Japan, like, and he's like lost his memory or whatever, but it was like a completely different style to everything else.
You're talking about the comic book?
No, the animated set, the movie.
No, I can't remember the movie. I remember the first half, and I think I either finished it and don't remember it, or I just turned it off halfway through.
Yeah, I don't remember it honestly enough of it. It was a while ago that I watched that.
I would like to see James Gunn bring back the DCAU because those animated movies were all good. There wasn't a bad
they were.
They were great.
I don't think they needed a change. They were pretty good. They were always pretty consistent.
Because I think they stopped when Warner Brothers was getting sold or bought out or something.
Something
they
like that, yeah.
Ended it with like a Flashpoint thing where Flash just ran off to save the world after it got destroyed by Darkseid or something. They're like, we'll just try again. Yeah, and then that's when the merger happened or whatnot.
They went back and like touched on that though. On that exact point of Constantine telling him, you know what you need to do, mate, and off he runs. They then like followed that up with like the anti-monitor thing or what the antimatter wave or whatever it is that's erasing everything, is because that point was, spoilers coming up, Constantine like cast some geas or something on Flash, made him go back and try and kill Darkseid as a baby. And because Darkseid is like a fixed point in time, it just fucked everything.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't know. Flashpoint is that Flashpoint movie they did was very
good.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone loves that movie.
Yeah. No, hopefully they do something like that again, because like how they did Justice League War, I think would be a good way to do, which I think is what they kind of were going to do with the Snyder cut stuff. They're going to do like a 3-part thing and then have them win and then lose and then all come back, and that's when it was the Flashpoint sequence at the end. That would be cool, but you kind of need that start to get Cyborg and stuff into the Justice League, which would be interesting.
Yeah, I will say I don't think Marvel ever held a candle to DC when it comes to the animated stuff.
Absolutely not.
They never did. And I will say I really love Marvel, but I think overall I do think DC's better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think Marvel is way more well-rounded. Like I think they've got a lot more better characters.
Yeah.
But I feel like the characters who are good in DC are so much better.
Marvel seems to be better at giving like showtime to their smaller side characters, so that everyone knows the little ins and outs of every character and all their minor bits. Whereas DC seems to be like, no, here's our big 7. They're the guys you know, and you might know 1 or 2 others off in the sideline.
Yes, true. Like there's a lot more like random characters in Marvel that people know of and care about.
Yes.
Things like that. I mean, like I think you're always going to have that when there was multiple big teams inside of Marvel. Like you've got the Avengers, but then you've also got the X-Men, which is a whole other series with tens and tens and tens of different characters, and the whole idea is ensemble.
Yeah. And they can have one week where it's like, here's the classic X-Men, and the next week it's a different team, but Wolverine's in it, but it's still X-Men. It's just who decides to go do that mission at that one point.
Yeah.
Which, when they did release Marvel Rivals, I think that was one of the, they haven't done a Marvel game well in not since like Ultimate Alliance sort of style, or the, I guess, Marvel Spider-Man games. The sort of like cutscene they had at the start of that game, if they made an animated series with that sort of style, I think it would go very, very well. I just don't think they're going to put any energy into it, because they'd find some way to screw it up by tying it into the main MCU timeline, and then it becomes a Disney Plus error again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But what was your rating, you think, on Superman out of 10?
I honestly think Superman is like an 8.5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The camera gimbal stuff pissed me off.
I think that's just you.
Yeah.
I really think so, because
I
I was going into it because you were talking about, Ben was saying that he didn't like some of the motorized camera.
The control rig thing that they use to do all the scenes.
Okay.
Where it's got set points where it will go to.
Yep.
I was looking for it the whole time, and it still wasn't even that
There was only
jarring to me.
Sometimes it worked really well with like the Mr. Terrific stuff, the bubble.
Yeah.
They worked really well with that, and then I just noticed one of like the end fights. I'm not going to say too much, but I just noticed it a lot more in that, because it was just like punch thrown, and then camera just whips over to the side, and then it just kept going back and forth. But
I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, I had a similar, like, I haven't seen Superman, but with How to Train Your Dragon, I had a similar thought with all the flying scenes, how like you couldn't really keep track of what was happening a lot of the time. It felt very either too blurry, or like
this is the inverse. I felt this is one of the more modern movies where I could keep track of what was going on. There's very few times where you didn't understand what happened and why that happened.
Yeah, there was a lot going on the screen, but you always had the focus of what he was obviously wanting in camera, and it worked well.
But if you look at a lot of like the Marvel movies, there's a lot of shit that will go on, and you'd be like, what, how?
Yeah.
What?
He's choking.
I was coughing, but I was giggling as well. Yeah.
Okay.
No, because I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, but no, it's like Transformers. Transformers is the thing that fucking ruined it for everyone, because it's just mouth vomit of bloody metal.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, well, we can get away with stuff like that. Not as egregious as Transformers, but still, look at this example.
Yeah, but Transformers was hectic.
I think people have rose-tinted glasses on for Transformers. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's especially good.
I agree with you. I liked that first movie, but I think they got silly with it. Like, they should have stopped.
Oh, no, they should have stopped after the third one. That was a contained story. They should have left it as that.
Yep.
Which the other ones were just, let's make more money. There wasn't any story, because like most of the original cast didn't even bother coming back. But it got very sloppy with like the transformations didn't look as good. Everything looked just a bit too fake metal compared to like what it was in 2007 when they brought it out.
They didn't explain certain plot points, like why 1 second they're the heroes, then the next second it seems entirety of humanity is against them. And
yeah, they flip a coin and it's like, oh, they're the bad guys now.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just dropped the ball and they went quantity over quality. And then Mark Wahlberg's in it, so that ruined it.
Yeah, Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Have you heard about what Marky Mark did?
I know what he did.
Yeah. Have you heard about what Marky Mark did? All right. This is a
as
big,
an actor,
big...
I don't mind him, but I don't really know much of him as a person.
Okay.
So
Well, do you want to know about him as a person?
let's go for it.
Okay, here we
Yeah.
go. Mark Wahlberg. We'll look at his
Let's look at his current ventures and see how he's going, and then see why he's.
So Mark Wahlberg. So if people don't know about Marky Mark, he was Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch. He was originally in that. It was a more like a rap group, something like that.
Yeah, former rapper. Okay.
Former rapper. Okay. So there's a couple things he's known for: being an actor, rapper, and then also let's have a look if we can find a certain
Was he
little
a
incident.
porn star or something?
No.
That's Boogie Nights. It's different.
Yeah.
But no, he's a racist.
Oh, you just you idiots. Let me get to it, and then we could have gone on about it.
I don't know if they're going to have too much.
He beat up like a Vietnamese man and was calling him racist and nearly made him lose his eye.
What?
Yeah.
He went to jail for like.
Would that be up there under legal issues?
It'll be legal issues.
There it is.
As a teenager, yeah. In 1986 and 1988, Wahlberg took part in some racially motivated attacks. In June 1986, the 15-year-old Wahlberg and 3 friends chased 3 black children while yelling, "Kill the N-word,
You say this
kill
part.
the N-word,"
I'm not gonna
and
say
throwing
that.
rocks at them. The next day, Mark Wahlberg and others followed a group of mostly black 4th graders, including one of the victims of the previous day, taking a field trip on a beach, yelled racial epithets. What is that? Epithets?
I've never seen that word before.
I know
ever.
that.
Epithets, yeah.
Epithets, yeah. Throw rocks at them and summoned other white males to join in the harassment. In 1986, civil action was filed against Wahlberg for violating the civil rights of his victims, and Wahlberg and his friends were issued civil rights injunction, which served as a warning as they would be jailed if they committed another hate crime. So, this is the big one. In 1988, Mark Wahlberg, then 16, assaulted a middle-aged Vietnamese American man on the street, calling him Vietnam fucking shit and knocking him unconscious with a large wooden stick. Later the same day, he attacked Johnny Trinh, another Vietnamese American, punching him in the eye. When Wahlberg was arrested and returned to the scene of the first assault, he told the officers, "I tell you now that the motherfucker who I split head open, I tell you now that's the motherfucker whose head I split open." Yeah. Later, Wahlberg would explain that he was on PCP at the time. Investigators also noted that Wahlberg made numerous unsolicited racial statements about, I'm not going to say the word, and another word, the derogatory terms for people of Asian descent. He was initially arrested for attempted murder. It keeps going on, but
it was a wild. I've seen all the news reports from it. It's not good. He's a nice Christian man now, or Catholic man, or whatever he's doing. But
so he's got, apparently there's been some things where, so he's got like a bad record for something, well, a criminal record for this obviously, and he's trying to get it overthrown because, I forget what it was. He's trying to get it overthrown.
I think it might say it a little bit further down. It says make amends there somewhere.
So the right thing for him to do would be make amends with Trinh and make amends. Applied for a pardon in the state of Massachusetts for his convictions, which enraged controversy. According to BBC, the debate about his suitability for a pardon, raised difficult issues with arguments on both sides of far-reaching and complex, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, no, not a good person, Mark Wahlberg.
Trinh forgave him. How much money do you think was involved?
I mean, either way,
Probably
he's a much better person.
Well, that is very disappointing.
Yeah.
I no longer like Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, he's not especially a good person with that.
No.
A lot of people don't know about that.
Yeah, it was very, very early, and then I think people just skipped over it because he went to jail and did all that sort of stuff, and now he's let's make movies.
No, it was before he was famous.
We've touched on that a bit before about how you can enjoy
separate the art from the artist.
Yes, yeah.
You can't do that now, can you?
No, I can't. It's another mark against that, honestly.
Oh, play on words.
Yeah, no, there's a few instances of separating art from artists. Like, I was talking to Lizard about this the other day. One big one is Led Zeppelin. So, Jimmy Page, who's the lead guitarist of Led Zeppelin, very influential guitar player, may or may not have slept with 14-year-olds while he was in that band. Yes. Yes. But yeah, there's a few things like that.
Yeah, the creator of Earthworm Jim, like spending a whole bunch of money towards, I believe, trans hate groups, either trans or like gay hate groups. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, like I still have nostalgia for those games. But yeah, the creator is an absolute horrendous person.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad people out there.
Yeah,
most of them are famous.
Most of them are famous.
For the wrong reason.
So we might have to do some horrendous things to get famous if we wanted to.
Yeah, no thanks.
Rock can go first, and then we'll just add on later and see how we go.
No,
we'll throw him under the bus and we'll get famous for that. We'll do the 60-minute story.
Do the Regina George from Mean Girls, push him in front of the bus.
I don't think I've ever watched Mean Girls properly.
It's pretty good.
That was a go movie when I was a kid.
Yeah, there was that and Freaky Friday.
Yeah. There's a new Freaky Friday coming out.
I did see the trailer for that when I saw Superman. I don't know. It looks going to be very weird. I think they swap places with their daughters or friends or...
I don't know. Freakier Friday.
Her daughters, the original mother, her granddaughters, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all over the shop.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's about 20 years too late. I think they could have done a really good one in like 2010.
There is a massive thing. I'm liking but also hating a trend in media where they're playing too much on nostalgia.
Yeah.
Let's remake this movie or bring this back or things like that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. This is actually a different point. This is getting us back to music. What I fucking hate at the moment is how little talent and originality there is in modern music. The thing I hate the most is how all these new songs are interpolating old music. They're just re-releasing old songs.
Are you talking about like just a cover of an old song?
It'll be a cover that they completely change, so it's a new song.
The one on your head right now is Anxiety by Doechii, isn't it?
No, but that's one of them.
Yeah, we had a discussion about that.
Like, so Anxiety by Doechii is just, I mean, that one's different because it actually doesn't use any of the lyrics of somebody I used to know.
There's been a lot of TikToks going, people like listening to the radio in their car and the start of that song comes on and everyone's like, it's like, is this going to be a good radio station or not? And then it plays the Doechii version. They go, not a bad cover, or like not even a cover. It's good use of the song, but it's the original is much better.
I'm trying to think of any, but they're so forgettable, these new songs, that it will literally like, I'm blue and I'm feeling all right.
I was just about to say, every time I walk into JB, that seems to be playing.
Yeah, well, there is legitimately, it's like 30, 40 songs are like that. Every couple months there's a new song and it's just an old song and they use half the lyrics and usually like the melody of the song and make something new.
Which I'm not entirely against. If you can, like, I don't really mind that particular song. I think I've heard it a bit too much. I spend way too often around that place. But there's a few there that are either cool, that's an interesting way to do that song. It like keeps that song not alive, but
what's the term for it? I know that I can't think of what it's called now, where you just like take snippets of songs and use them in other music.
A soundbite.
Yeah, sort of. But there's another term for it.
Ruined it because I was about to say what it was, but now you said something else and I forgot. No, I mean sampling.
That's the one. Because I know, like, I went through and listened to Eminem again.
See, this
too long ago.
Yeah, this isn't sampling. This is just.
Using
what Let me have a look.
Because sampling the music, I know with a lot of the old Eminem stuff, you look through, you open up the cover of the CD and you look at it and it says Real Slim Shady, and then there's like 6 or 7 lines of like credit to this person because I took like 15 seconds from here as a soundbite in that song, and which he's using old things and then making his own song out of it. It's really good. And then you get like what Tom was saying, where they're just taking that full chunk or the whole melody of the song and then just reusing it and changing the lyrics ever so slightly.
Yeah, no, so it's a lot of interpolated. So they're just using the same melody and then it's a little bit different because they're also using same lyrics and things like that. But it's just so lazy.
Yeah.
I hate when they reskin stuff like that. Speaking of reskins, was Rugby League Live 3 or 4? What is it? I forget.
2025?
Whatever it is. The new Rugby League Live game.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense.
Everyone fucking hates this game.
Yep.
So
it looks horrible.
This is very regional. This is for 2 states of Australia that care about this. But the new Rugby League Live game, sold like shut up, sold like fucking hotcakes.
Oh yeah.
Sold like crazy. Couldn't believe it's probably literally I think the best selling physical disc game in the last year, I reckon.
I'm going to look up the numbers for it.
We sold out within 2 days. In the 4 days afterwards, I had close to 30 people asking, because I was keeping track for a while, I had close to 30 people ask, do you still have this in stock? I had other people
You're saying
calling.
2 days, but that's for multiple consoles. The PlayStation 5 version was gone within like 5 hours.
Well, no, all of them were. The only one we had left after a while was the PS4.
Oh, okay,
Xbox went first because Xbox doesn't release many games anymore, particularly like for retail stores. Most stores are lucky to get like a handful of a new title coming out. We got like 6, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We got 60 of the
You two talk real quick. I need to do
of the
something.
PS5 version.
Yeah, I'm having a look now and trying to find like the sales figures for it. None publicly available just yet, but
It's sold like nothing else up to this point, honestly.
Yeah.
1 or 2 games that have come close, but like I don't understand why it's been so popular, because a lot of these people should have seen how bad it was. We sold out for PS5 within 2 days. That next day, I had a bunch of people asking if I had it in stock. I also fielded a whole bunch of calls from people asking if they could return it.
yeah.
Like, people are not happy with it. It looks shocking.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Sorry, I just had to change Brock so he could be focused as a person, not an animal.
Yeah, and he got up and spear tackled me through the wall, so we're back.
And he said, "Fuck yeah, footy! I love footy." That's what Brock said.
He loves the sports ball.
He does.
The sports ball, yes.
Yeah, game bad. Sold too many copies, and there's probably going to be an unholy amount of returns. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been getting horrendous reviews.
Which is why I don't understand why it's selling so well. Surely some of those people would have seen the early trailers coming out.
The people who are buying these aren't
they're not gamers.
They're not gamers, Brock.
They like sports games. So like, if we're going to go buy a game, we're going to go, oh, I'm not going to buy it on launch. I'm going to have a look. Oh, the reviews say it's really bad.
I'll buy stuff on launch still, but I
reviews
look into it.
You've got gameplay. You've got that sort of thing. People who are interested in sports games go, new sports game. Same with FIFA. They don't care if it's going to be good. They buy it because it's a new FIFA. They haven't had a good rugby league game in, would you say, 7 years?
There hasn't been one in 8 years.
Yeah. So, new footy game come out, they're going to buy it regardless if it's if they
You gotta
know it's
think.
good
There
or
hasn't
bad.
been one for that series. There's been other football games.
Not
There's
rugby
been
league.
Rugby league, no. There's been AFL, there's been Madden, there's been
But
whatever.
they're completely different.
I understand that.
AFL is a very
Niche.
small niche.
Yeah.
AFL is bigger than NRL.
Yes, it is, but game-wise, I wouldn't say. I haven't seen an AFL game in a very
Also, you got to think, I don't think they're probably not ordering this much stock into stores in states that are more AFL
Correct,
inclined.
Yeah, like here in Queensland, like you said, we're definitely going to have a lot of the rugby league.
Here in Queensland.
Here and Queensland.
Oh, I thought here in
Queensland.
Like I was about to say, since when do we live in Queensland?
How did I hear that and you didn't?
I don't know. Shut the fuck up. All
This
right,
is
let's
hyper-focused on my voice.
let's get to talk about something else so we can get some good clips that aren't all very regional Australia locked. Say something.
Pose one of your many questions you gave us.
Oh, okay. So I've got a question I heard.
Fuck you.
I keep seeing on Twitter or X every now and then you'll see these things that's like, can you not?
And you wonder why
I'm
we make
honestly trying. I can't help it. I'm
you
sorry.
wonder why we make fun of you in the Discord every time you breathe funny.
Yeah.
What was that creepy doll thing that was convincing kids to stab their parents and stuff? Momo? Was it Momo?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was like a dumb thing.
It was. That's a creepy pasta.
That's creepypasta.
Throw back to last week.
Yeah. I see these things on Twitter every now and then, and it will be like, oh, you see, like, oh, give us a piece of your lore. It'll be something that's like it'll be a big viral trend where people retweet it and like talk about themselves or think something like that. There's always like, oh, give you your most based opinion or shit like that. I saw one the other day and it was like, what's something along the lines of what's your opinion that most people know but will never admit, or I don't know, something along those lines. And it was about games, and it was saying 50% of people who call themselves gamers aren't. If you buy COD every year and the newest FIFA and just a couple games like that, you're not a gamer. You're only a gamer if it is a lifestyle and you buy multiple things.
It's a load of shit.
Yeah, that's going back to the whole casual versus hardcore game. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. If you play games, you're a gamer.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how.
It doesn't matter if it's mobile or on a console. It's
Yeah.
still a game.
I do
If for board games.
I do think there's a lot of people who probably play games who would not consider themselves a gamer.
Yeah.
Who might be the people who buy COD every year or buy your NBAs.
Social gamers.
Yeah, I guess you could say like that. But yeah, that's what I was going to ask, is what do you guys think about that? But I think, it's if you play games, you play games.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, I think
People play games for different reasons. Like, even within, if you call yourself a hardcore gamer, there's people who would call themselves hardcore who play games because they enjoy it.
do you think, actually, something I was thinking about is, especially when we were coming up,
Yeah.
Ben and I, and Brock was 85.
It was only 84 at that point.
There was definitely a lot of stigma around gaming and saying it was very addictive and kids could get addicted to games and there's a big problem with that. Do you feel like that is still around as much anymore? I don't think so. I think it's more about addiction to iPads.
I think it's more about addiction to sort of microtransactions, because there weren't a lot of that in games when we were growing up. Not to the extent it is now. Like,
I think that's an adjacent problem, not the same thing.
I don't think addiction's fucking stupid when it comes to gaming. Back then, at least, when there was a big stigma around it, not at all.
I don't feel like there is anywhere near as much.
I still think there is. It might be because I've worked in childcare that I saw it more often than you two did. But I mean, we have talked before about how often we have seen people walking around shopping centres and even just walking around work, and kids in a pram or in a trolley, they're just scrolling away on an iPhone or an iPad or something while the parents not even focusing on them. But working in childcare all the time, I had parents coming in and saying like, "Oh, I can see that you've got like computers and that there that kids can use. Like, I don't want my kid spending too long on them. I don't want my kid to grow up addicted to games or anything like that."
See, I don't think that is actually helping your point. I think that's more helping just addiction. Not specifically to gaming.
I'm saying like there is still that stigma that like there is that fear of, hey, parents aren't actually. I don't know where I'm actually going.
I think your age group, not taking a shot at your age, but your age group and demographic compared to ours, people our age now having kids and they're growing up, the parents that, like all the people I know who have kids are also gamers. So I feel like the kids are inevitably going to play a lot of games, but I think those parents are in the mindset to not let their kids get hooked.
It's a screen time problem.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily gaming, and I think gaming was the thing that a lot of kids latched onto first because it got a lot more popular. Because especially when I was growing up, I very much had to you can't play on weeknights.
I was literally just thinking that.
You can't play X amount of time, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, okay, I'm about to do Who's Better, Mum or Dad right now. My parents are divorced. What a shock.
Same.
Mum was very much, no, like I only let you play very rare times, things like that. And I feel like that made me way more rabid for games. Way more. It was like I needed my fix.
She took away the crack pipe.
Yeah. And then when I went to Dad's, he definitely was like, no life on it, but he was very hands off. Just play when you want.
Yeah.
It was a few years where I played non-fucking stop, but I feel like it was the right decision in the end. It's dependent on personality as well, but I don't feel like I have the need or the urge to play games anywhere near as much as other people do.
Yeah.
Because of that.
I think when
it's basically got it out of my system almost.
Yeah, I think when I was growing up, because it was obviously split household, step sisters and all the rest of it. Mum's first console we had there, my stepdad had an original Xbox, which we played very rarely just because he only had like 4 games on it or whatever it was. And then the next console we got was a Wii for that house, which we played for a bit, but like we were all playing because it was like Wii Sports and Wii Fit. So it wasn't I'm going to go sit down and play the Wii because it was on the big TV. it was when we all played the Wiis when I gamed at home. Dad's was a little different because he already had a PlayStation, already had a PS2. We went through all that sort of stuff. But then when he met a partner, her son was also getting into that, getting into gaming, and I wouldn't get to play if she was home and he was home because it was his time on the TV, his time to do this. I would fuck off and go ride skateboards with my mate who lived up around the corner. And school holidays was a little bit different. It was like you can't touch a screen until the sun sets.
Yeah.
So I'd either go to a mate's place and play on his PlayStation 3, or I just wouldn't be in the house. But Dad's very like black or white. He was like, stay out of the house, or if you're going to play, you can play when it rains.
Yeah.
My upbringing was a little bit different in that, like, Dad never really wanted kids. So when he left, like, Mum had full custody of us. Never really saw Dad except for, like, maybe a weekend every 3-4 months, maybe.
Okay, cool. But what's this got to do with games?
He's dropping the law right now.
Mum's house, there was, like, she tried, like, this thing because I was, like, ADHD. It was, like, a chore chart thing. Like, you did so many chores, you got stickers, and you could redeem them
collecting
for
gold
time.
rings.
I had that.
Redeem them for time
I had
on
that
the
at one
console.
point, yeah.
That got dropped by the time I was, like, 11, 12, probably earlier, but that's what I remember. But yeah, it was a similar sort of thing. Like, you can't spend all day on it. Like, you can spend maybe an hour or two at the most. The rest of the time, if you're at home, you're expected to be doing something outside or schoolwork or homework, whatever, and just not in front of the screen.
Yeah, I think my stepmom was like that. It was very much if I was playing games, it was like max an hour, and then it was you've got to go do something else while the sun's out. But then if her son was playing on the console, he could sit there and brain rot for 6 hours. I'd go, okay, calm down. I want to play Skyrim or something. Yeah. And then it's like, why'd you kick him off? You got to play together. I was like, brother, this was like a 40-inch plasma. I'm not playing split screen Call of Duty Black Ops 1 on this thing. I was like, I just want to play. I couldn't even read the gun names. I thought the galley was thought it was or the galley or the Galil or whatever it is. I had it. I couldn't read the last letter because it was so like boarded in and stuff. And I was like, I just want to have an hour and a half. And once I finally got keys to come home early after school, and I got that hour and a half to play by myself with no distractions, that definitely turned the gaming up to 10.
I do, like, I fully am in support of kids should be outside and playing and things like that. Yeah. But I will say, I think it gets hard, especially with all the screen time stuff now. But at least if you've got a personality like myself, I think not having that restriction on there was the better thing to do, which is what happened because, like I said, you can get a lot more, kids will get a lot more rabid, and that if you take it away from them, that's going to cause that many dramas.
When they throw shit and then they break down, you give it back to them as a...
Not even just like that direct instant right there, but I think it instills in them that they've got to try and soak up as much time as they can get. Yeah. So they got to know life it when they can. But if you given it not free reign, but like a lot more open with it and a bit more hands off, and they can play as much as they want, you'll get to a point where like, I don't really want to play at the moment. I'll do something else.
Parents are a bit lax, Brock. I think parents are more lax with it now because, I mean, when we were going out, like when we were kids going outside, there wasn't as much of a... It was a lot safer to go out and run around the streets and do stupid stuff and jump off roofs and all that sort of stuff. Kids now, it's like they get grabbed just going to the toilet shopping center sort of thing. So it's like there's a lot more risk for parents. It's like they can't get attacked or stolen or whatever
I get you.
if they're locked in a room playing on a PlayStation.
I think that's definitely part of it. I think the other side of it is, though, the age of the iPad has kind of changed a lot of like the very early years, where mum or dad will sit the toddler down in front of an iPad or something, and the kid grow, like those early formative years are growing up with that in front of them. And so then, sorry, I'm not finished.
No, that's right.
When you get to that age, like the age of, 6, 7, 8, where it's like, okay, I want you to start being more active and going outside with friends and all that.
It's too late.
Kid doesn't want to. That's what they've grown up with. That's what they want to keep doing.
And the problem is, with that, you can't be... A lot of the parents will want... We're backseat parenting like crazy here.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm more looking at like sympathetic to them, because if you're like, I don't want to give my children screen time and raise them a bit more like they were and they didn't have all this stuff. The problem is, their kids go out and then they see all the other kids on the iPads, all their friends with it, and like, why can't I get it? And then that starts the tantrum and that starts the argument. So unless everyone just stops using them now, everyone's kind of fucked.
Yeah. The other side of that is if you don't want your child to be addicted to it, you should be sitting there with them, actually, like either playing with the same game with them or watching what they're watching so that you understand what they're consuming as well.
Yeah.
Most parents don't want to take the time to do that. They're like, I've got other shit to do.
Hence why
if it keeps them busy, that's fine.
Hence why, like, people are like, oh yeah, but it's my kid. Like, let my kid watch Bluey, and then they actually sit down and watch it. And they're like, this is the greatest show ever invented.
I was about to say, I feel like television for children as like a more luxury screen time thing is probably the better option than an iPad.
Yes,
because they're not left to their own devices.
Quite literally.
Keep going.
What was I going to say? I had a really good thought, and now it's escaped my head. Yes, I saw a post on Twitter the other day. Some chick was like, there's no fucking way I'm letting my daughter become an iPad baby. And she had a portable DVD player on a plane. She didn't let her have the screen. She didn't let her have anything. She holds the portable DVD player in her hand to watch the TV show or the movie. And that's all she's getting is like just the portable DVD player.
See, I mean, I think there's a point where you're probably going a bit too crazy with it. I will say, I mean, like, I obviously don't have the struggles of knowing what it's like to raise a child in this climate with the iPads and all the technology that will just infatuate them and they'll get obsessed with.
When we have kids, they'll all have Apple Vision Pros.
Yeah, exactly. Fun. I think it's probably, I mean, again, crazy backseat parenting right now, but it's probably better to try and instill ideas in them.
An idea of limitation.
Yeah, like,
I'm
just
happy for you to use this.
Moderation and a few other things like that where, like, I feel like...
Don't use daddy's credit card on the Epic Game Store.
That's one thing I should have learned. I went in the hospital once when I was a kid. Dad put his card on my Xbox Live account so I could download something. The next couple of months I bought too much stuff. And he called up Microsoft. Why is there all these things on my account? I don't understand. And he found out and I was like, I still feel terrible for it. That was 15, 16 years ago or something.
Pay him back, but with inflation.
Yeah, I will pay him back at some point. But that's one thing I will say is that, especially growing up with my parents being divorced and everything like that, one thing I think they both did, especially Dad, I think very much instilled an idea of right and wrong. And not even something that is like morally what they probably believe now. But growing up, there was a lot of times where I'm pretty proud of myself for, I didn't do this stupid thing that everyone else is. I didn't give in the peer pressure. I didn't do XYZ thing. Like, he was fucking lucky I didn't come out of school doing drugs or smoking or drinking crazy. And there's not many people like that.
No, I think
that's probably something that you could try and instill now with all technology is not necessarily keep iterating about moderation, but other things related, which will make some form a child to be like, have a bit better decisions making, I guess, with it.
I think, like, definitely with my dad, it was a hard ass, but also he gave me enough freedom to do what I wanted, but I still had a leash. But like kids these days, like you were saying, they come out of school doing drugs and stealing shit and smash windows. Their parents are too far gone when it comes to...
Do we want to quickly go on a tangent about children these days?
Yes.
I'm happy to.
All right, so...
Fuckwits.
A quick tangent. We
That's the tangent.
Yeah. We work retail. Children are fucked these days.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say children. I'm going to say pre and teens.
Yep.
Pre-teens and teens are fucked.
Well, so we going like 11 to 15?
I'd go higher than that. I'd say 11 all the way through to 17, 18.
Yeah, I would say that as well.
We know some 18-year-olds that aren't menaces, but there's also a lot.
But that's like down to individual like cases. When they're as a group, no, they're fucked.
And I know it's very much sounding like old man yells at cloud, because every generation
old man yells at cloud
always dunks on the newer one, but they're not that much younger than Ben and I. And I feel like there's been some kind of disconnect in the last 10 years where kids now are fucked.
Yeah.
No.
They're going around stabbing people.
Yeah.
And
it used to just be the boys that were like absolute like
Gronks.
douchebags. there's been quite a few all-girl fights at our place of employment. That is,
Someone got stabbed the other week.
yeah. They dragged a girl from a bus stop too.
Yeah, groups, like gangs of 15-year-olds. Not even that. Sometimes they're as
They're
long
a
as
lot
like
younger than
11. And they will just go in, steal stuff from shops and like blatant. I don't know if this is, I don't want to get too political or anything, but I don't know if it's just they know they can get away with it.
And I think there's a lot of
that's
that.
not political, but that is yeah.
Well, I mean,
definitely a
it
big
does
part
because
of
it gets into laws and things like that. Because I mean,
Yeah, it's-
especially if when I was a kid, if I was doing shit like that, I would have been arrested, put in the back of a paddy wagon.
Oh, that wouldn't. No, it would have been.
I would have been
wouldn't
tripped
even
over and they pushed me in the ground, like 100%. Like that's how it was.
There would have been a punishment for your action.
You
now
can't
it's like
touch anyone.
And it would have
now.
been an immediate punishment. That's
Yeah.
a big problem I had with a lot of stuff was like I would see kids get punished, but I'm like, okay, what are they getting punished for? Oh, they did this thing like 4 or 5 days ago. And I was like, well, they're not going to learn that that's an actual consequence then, is it?
Yeah, like
they're just going to learn, oh, if I can get away with it for long enough, there's no punishment.
if I did something bad at home, I got hit with a wooden spoon.
Yep.
Yep, the wooden
Same.
spoon.
I've had multiple broken on me.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
and I've been
same.
whipped with tea towels. I've had a magnifying glass smashed over the back of my head.
Oh,
That's a good-
didn't,
that's
didn't
a-
get those ones.
That was a rare occurrence, and the
I won't-
magnifier was involved in the crime. So that was.
I won't get too into details with it, but I think it's all started a lot of the time with modern schooling and what children are getting away with. I won't say who this is. A close family member of mine is a teacher. Got harassed for about 3 years by children calling up 1 a.m. every night. You're a fucking dumb cunt. Can't fuck you. Kill yourself. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing gets done because they're a child.
Yeah.
Nothing. Going to school. Bites people. Pops tires. Breaks windscreens of this person's car. Things like that. Nothing. They're protected species now type of deal. And I feel like there's just instilled that, if I can get away with it here, I can get away with it there.
And a lot of them will hit 18 and then just stop altogether because they know that's when the consequence kicks in.
Yeah.
It's not going to do anything if they stop. If they're like, oh, I can't get in trouble for another 6 years. Why don't I just do fucking whatever I want for 6 years? I don't understand it.
Some of them wise up. A lot of them don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just, unfortunately, it's a repeating cycle where stupid people just breed. And that is just, it's a continuing cycle where like we were shit kids, we're now shit parents, and our kids are going to be shit as well.
Yeah.
It's
kids, like teenagers these days, a lot of them.
Fuck, we sound so old.
I know. Are what?
welcome to my age.
You're going to say my life and you should have stuck with it.
Yeah, teenagers these days are what our parents thought
We
we
would
would be
become,
like if we played too much GTA.
Yeah.
Stupid. I remember in high school, like, everyone thinks their year's the best year. The year above us, fine. No problems at all. This was like when I was in year 10, like they went off to year 11. They were fine. No issues, nothing like that. The year above them, also the same. Year below us got a little bit wild. Wasn't too bad. My sister's year was significantly worse. And then the year 7s that rolled through in my year 10 were just all like absolute dickheads.
This sounds pretty much the same.
Well, that's what happens when you leave your PSP on your lap, Brock.
Yeah, it's fine down there.
Yeah.
No, it was like just a tonal shift. Each year it got a little bit worse. And then like my sister's year there was a couple bad eggs, but like the rest of it was like they're just normal teenagers. And then it comes to the year after and it's just like, how does the ball drop so far?
Yeah, you're not wrong. It does very much sound like the whole sort of my school year was the best year. But I mean, I think that goes like everyone has that sort of thought where like, oh yeah, the year above me, they were good. The year below us, absolute ferals.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just a common thing. But looking at it, it's true though.
Yeah.
Like the year...
It's true. I'm just better than you.
No, the year below us...
Ninth class of 86.
No, it was 2 years below us, sorry. They had all the problem students, like ones that were like, this student got early juvie because they did X, Y, Z. This one was caught sending messages of an inappropriate nature to a teacher. This one did X, Y, Z.
Move.
One of them is now dating said teacher.
I respect the hustle, I guess. A little predatory, but I mean...
Yes.
Some outrageous things would happen at school. I'm not saying anyone's names, but there's a story at my school, and I know it's true, of there was a teacher who was going out with another teacher. A kid stole this female teacher's phone, went through, screenshotted all these nudes on the phone, sent them to themselves, and they went all around the school.
Yeah, there's a couple of things like, not teachers, but there was definitely stuff that happened like between students of that.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
Average
Yeah.
height. When
Yeah.
it's the teacher.
When it's
That's
the
a bit
teacher,
of a-
yeah, that's why you should never keep nudes on your phone, ever.
Do you have a story about that, bro?
talk. You cannot talk.
I don't keep nudes on my phone.
Yeah.
Not real life ones.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Drawed one.
It's pencil sketches for Brock. Yeah.
Rule 34 in that folder. I
Hey,
drew.
to be fair,
Thanks for
to be
outing me
fair.
on the internet,
Yeah.
guys.
At least it wasn't anything like the fucking.
It's not in the work chat.
At least it's.
Shut up.
Oh, that was years before you even started.
I know it was the first thing I was told when I started there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't do that again.
At least that's not as bad as that fucking. I just showed these guys before we started. I
Oh,
found a
don't.
fucking. I was on Instagram Reels, and Lizard sent me these videos of what were they? It was like a guy like with a Furby helmet on. Like it was a massive Furby head, and he was like dressed as like a priest or something, and he's
You
like a
didn't show
Furby.
us this
No, shut up. Like dressed
Context.
up as a Furby priest, and she's like, "This is my persona." And then there was like another one. It was a guy dressed up as a lizard, like breakdancing on another floor, saying, "This is my real persona." And because of that, I think it came up on my Instagram Reels. I found a furry sitcom called Fur Reel. It was I showed these guys before we started. It was the cringiest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, we can't show it. That was just
No, we can show that. What we can't show is that we went on this guy's TikTok, and one of his tagged or his pinned TikToks is talking about how to shove things up your ass to get to a good point where it feels good.
The second ring or whatever it
Yeah.
was he
Yeah.
was calling it.
It's a 7 rings in hand type of deal.
yeah, man is interesting.
Yeah.
That was a
I don't want to see it again. So
No,
we're
I'm
not.
not. We're not bringing it up. We can't bring it up. He had a picture of a colon and everything.
yeah, that was just something. And then he had a whole like promotional video for Bad Dragon and all that sort of stuff, and just some weird stuff.
I think that was a parody thing.
Yeah,
Like,
bro, that
it
was
would be the sort of
satire.
thing
How
Bad
could
Dragon
you
would
not
probably put out, but yeah.
I don't doubt that he's bad practice, but my lord, that was
Oh god, some people are just
might have to do a binge watch of the
I don't
for
like,
real.
There's stuff that people put out on the internet that I don't understand how you can be that open about it and not be afraid of the shame.
It's just the persona. They can't. It's not
okay.
them.
Without talking about it too in depth, we had an instance of this at our workplace. We're not going to go too in depth with it. I've only heard it secondhand because I was actually off the day this happened. But there is a very big camera product coming out soon.
Correct.
At our place of work, we have got that item in, massive embargo on it. Someone decided to take a photo of it with something in the frame of the photo that fully identified where they worked.
Not at our workplace either. Just
Not at
company.
our workplace. And leaked all this info online.
Which
Massive fucking company that this thing's for.
big old lawsuit on the
What
way.
a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then, well, we're going to discuss the other part of their
You can if you want.
Reddit account.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't.
No, we probably shouldn't.
They had multiple personalities. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about whether we can get stuff to show off here. I mean, most
Oh
recently,
yes, we
were-
did have this discussion
Yeah.
actually.
I was talking to a local Nintendo representative when they came through our workplace.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about this.
Yeah. We possibly could have gotten some stuff from our workplace that, like, some Nintendo branded stuff, like basically for Mario Kart World. The Nintendo rep told me, no, please do not do that, because I will have to come and take it all away from you, and Nintendo will not act nicely towards you. And I mean, look, it's Nintendo. There's no surprise there.
I mean, we have been shaming them for how long have we been doing this podcast now for?
6-7 months.
Not 45 weeks.
Yeah.
But we were then told a story about some people who, do I name the other company they used to work for?
I don't know who we're talking about, sorry.
It's our most popular TikTok.
Oh, EB Games.
Yes, there were some
fuck
people who,
Say it. So,
some guys who worked at EB gave some promotional
Some
material.
guys that worked at EB Games, did you say?
Yes.
Yep.
Some guys who worked at EB Games. They gave some promotional material to some of their friends or someone they knew that had a podcast. These guys then went on their podcast and were like, oh, look what we got from such and such at EB Games. Like, just full on naming them and showing it all off. This Nintendo representative was saying they then got a call from Nintendo of Australia saying, that's in your area. Go and shut it down now. And they had to then like follow it on and be like, I need all that stuff back. You should not have done that. You got, and like the employees at the EB Games got into trouble. The EB Games itself, like that particular store, I believe might have got fined.
Yep.
I don't know, but
Well, luckily,
In a podcast, you know
I
what?
don't
They
know which
exploded.
podcast
You know
it
what it
was.
was? I'm trying to think of a thing. Something you freak bitches.
what?
It's a Joe Rogan experience.
Oh.
That's why I was not joking.
But luckily,
it was Joe Rogan. Yeah.
luckily, Sony's a bit more lax. Otherwise, they wouldn't have liked our Concord.
Oh, it doesn't
episode.
matter.
Yeah.
Concord was dead by the time we put it up. We need to find all that shit.
I don't know where it went.
I don't know. I mean, shout out if anyone.
Has a copy?
No, not even that. The people who
We
don't
aren't
know, on
getting
our
that.
first episode, we did a joke where we got a lot of Concord merch, like a lot of Concord merch, and we were talking about we're number one Concord fan cast. By the point that went out, Concord had been shut down.
yeah.
So I still have no idea where it went because I don't think we threw any of it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
We had a lot, honestly.
Yeah, we'll find it.
But no, yeah, people should be careful what they put online. Kids should probably,
Be careful
have
what they look at
restrictions.
online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who they talk to, what they do, play games with.
You don't want to be. I was about to dox you, so I won't say. You don't want to be playing with online.
I thought that's exactly what you were going to say,
Yeah.
so I was like, I didn't say it either.
Don't.
Maybe you might actually change it then.
I refuse that. No.
Are you-
Don't play with normal or Sonic's feet.
Yes, as the Discord name says.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've probably done enough for this episode. It's had a few
Hiccups.
weird things
Yeah.
go on. We're gonna do another one. Not today, definitely not.
No, next week.
Yeah, definitely not. But all right.
We'll save it there.
All right. See yous.
Bye.